Oh, this is actually 2 villages. This is actually really good. What's up, Agents? Zero here. Welcome back to another Minecraft Seed Showcase. It's honestly been a while since I've done one of these, and the reason because of that is because of the 1.2 beta going on, and all the seeds that were getting posted to MCPEDL were all based around things that were generating in 1.2, mainly ravines. So that's why I haven't done a seed showcase in a long time, but just less than an hour ago, or at least according to when I'm recording this, is going to be a lot more than that by the time the video is out. MCPDL posted another seed. Well, actually, they posted 2 new seeds. I'm actually only going to be showcasing one of them because I only like to do 1 seed per video. And the seed that I'm going to be showcasing today, this is actually a rather awesome seed. No seed that I've showcased in the past, or any seed that I'm going to be showcasing in the future, is ever going to top what I'm about to show you guys. That's just how cool this seed is going to be. Now, before I actually go ahead and get started and show you guys what this seed is, a little bit of an update on my Impossible Maze. I know I did a video on that just a couple days ago, but I just want to let you guys know that as of me recording this video, the map is pretty much halfway done at this point, so it's not going to be too long before I'm actually able to get it done. Within at least this week, if not early next week, it should be done. And speaking of which, I am still technically looking for beta testers for the map. I've got 1 beta tester online already, so if you guys do in fact want to go ahead and beta test the map, make sure to let me know down in the comments below. Make sure to tell me what your Twitter handle is, if that makes any sense. Or you can just go ahead and let me know via Twitter at AgentCP0 that you are in fact interested in beta testing the map. I'll make sure I have a link down in the description, or in the top right corner of the screen relatively soon, a link to said video about what this project is, if you guys are still confused on what this project actually is, so you guys have a good understanding of what that map is. Anyway, enough about that. Let's go ahead and get into this seed showcase. I don't know why I had difficulty saying that. So here we are. So we're gonna go into creative mode. Let's go ahead and set this to peaceful. Let's go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and set it to always just to make it a little bit easier. And here's the seed, and I'm just gonna simply paste it in because I have it copied from earlier today. 14310237779. That's the seed. And as I mentioned, this is honestly a relatively awesome seed. And by the way, this seed, I've got my computer up next to me, obviously, with all the information. This seed was actually posted to MCPDL by a guy by the name of Telepathic Grunt or Girl. I actually don't know. So your information will be down in the description. So thank you so much for giving us the seed. And this is actually going to be relatively cool to look at because there's actually literally a whole bunch of stuff going on in this seed, should it actually load correctly. And it looks like it did. So take a look over here. We have a village with a desert temple in the center. That's just the start of this seed. In fact, let me go ahead and be completely honest about how this seed actually works. As it turns out, according to the webpage, because I'm looking up and down on the page on this actual seed, this is a seed that is like jam-packed with a whole bunch of generation, like within a short amount of space at that. And this is just one thing that they have going on. This is just one thing. I am going to be doing a little bit of flying around. They also have on the web page coordinates of where everything is. I'm not actually going to be trying to find said coordinates. I'm just going to be trying to find what I can in the span of, like, I don't know, maybe 10, 15 minutes. I don't know. I'm going to have to figure out how long I'm going to be going into this video. So, we have this village right here, which, speaking of which, does this village have a blacksmith? It doesn't say anything about what all these chests have to store. If there is chests to be had, it doesn't say anything about that. But it does say what generated structures are here, and somewhere underneath this village and this desert temple is actually a stronghold. And since this place is actually relatively close to spawn, you got a stronghold relatively early on. So let's go ahead and go down in here. Let's go ahead and break that so that we don't set it off. Alright, so let's take a look what's inside of these chests. We got ourselves a few emeralds. We've got ourselves a little bit of sand, which admittedly is good in some cases, but technically it's considered as junk. We've got ourselves iron and gold horse armor, so that's actually not too bad. What we have in this chest? More sand, we got string, more rotten flesh, spider eyes, which are good for making certain potions, if you can make the fermented spider eyes, although it probably don't want that early on. You have at least one saddle, which I don't know if there's going to be any more saddles. Okay, so, oh, we actually have another saddle. Okay, that's not too bad. More sand, rotten flesh, some bones. Let's see what's in this chest. We got 2 more saddles, so 4 saddles in total, 3 sets of horse armor, 1 iron, 1 gold, 1 diamond, which is not too bad. Bunch of gunpowder. This one doesn't even have any rotten flesh. Not that I'm complaining. Everything else had rotten flesh in it. So that's basically the start of this seed. Now, according to the webpage on MCPDL, this is actually separated into different clusters, as it's referred to on this webpage. And everything is actually, as I mentioned, relatively close to each other. Now, I don't know how far out I need to go. Actually, this actually isn't too far out at all. So we've got ourselves another village right nearby. In fact, actually, oh, this is actually 2 villages. This is actually really good. Okay. So that's actually kind of good to know. So we got ourselves a blacksmith right here. I'm actually kind of curious what's all in this blacksmith. Let's take a look in here. So we've got ourselves some gold, piece of iron, some bread. Not too bad for starting out. I mean, you got yourself some food, you got yourself a little bit of resources right off the bat. That's actually not too bad. Let's see what we got at this village. Do we have a blacksmith by chance? No? Okay, you know what, that's fine. Although I am kind of curious because one structure that is kind of good to find is the library, and I actually don't know what the library actually looks like. I don't know if there's any libraries in any of these buildings, and this is actually relatively interesting, seeing that they have this village, this farm all the way up here and into the mountain. That's actually relatively cool. That's something I've actually honestly never seen before. And then we've got another house like all the way up top here. Now, I'm not going to be showcasing everything this seed has to offer. I'm just going to be showcasing just a little bit, or at least what all I can actually end up finding, which I don't know how much more I'm going to be able to find, but just believe me on the fact that this seed, there's a lot going on in this seed. I mean, there's just no doubt about it. There's just a whole ton of stuff going on, as you can obviously tell. I'm not seeing anything nearby. Unless right here. No, it doesn't appear to be. I thought maybe, is this another village, or is this... No, I think, if I'm looking at this correctly, okay, so it's 3 villages. Okay, I think is what it is. And they're all technically interconnected, and we don't seem to see another blacksmith, which is perfectly fine. I mean, blacksmiths, granted, they're good to find. They seem to be far and few in between, if I'm being completely honest, or at least in my opinion. So we've got some... a cave down in here. By the way, I do want to go ahead and mention that somewhere in these, areas, it said something about there being, like, maybe a dungeon or 2 exposed. I'm not entirely sure where, but there's supposed to be a dungeon exposed to the surface, relatively close by, or at least that's what my interpretation of this is. I could, well, actually I am technically, I was going to say I was going to be technically wrong, and I could be, but that's actually not the case, because the website does in fact at least back me up. So I'm just trying to see if I can locate, like, maybe one of the ravines, just as proof that there is one at least somewhere close by. And it looks like, yeah, we've got one right down here at the desert, which is actually not too bad. I've actually honestly not seen one of these ravines in person, to be completely honest, because the beta was going on and I wasn't part of the beta. So I didn't actually get to see what the ravine actually looked like. When I did the beta review, I do believe I talked about the ravines. It's been a while since I actually did that video, but I do believe I did in fact end up talking about the ravine. Someone can correct me down in the comments if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure I did. So yeah, this is actually relatively cool to see, because this is something that is honestly new to me, and so I'm actually really liking the fact they decided to add this in, because this is a relatively massive generated structure, and I actually don't know. Okay, so we go all the way down to gold level, which means I think we should be relatively close to diamond level. Well, there's lava all the way down there, because I can see it from here, so we're definitely all the way down at diamond level, most definitely. Now, whether or not I'm going to be able to find any diamonds, that's a whole other question, but there is some redstone right here, so that's not too bad. So we are in the right location. Oh, well, what do you know, there actually is some diamonds right here, so I'm actually kind of curious, how many diamonds are in fact right here in this vein? This is actually not too bad. So if I dig around here, so we've got ourselves 8 so far. So you got yourself some diamonds straight away if you're actually careful enough, because you do have to be careful getting down in these ravines. Then again, there is a lot of water around here, so it's not going to be too hard to get down. Getting back up may be a problem. So that's 8 diamonds in total that I found straight away. That's actually not too bad. We got ourselves plenty of lava. But yeah, that's basically... Well, I wouldn't say that's the entire seed. Where's the way back up? Is it up this way? Yes, it is. So, this is only a taste of what this seed has to offer. And I'm saying taste lightly, because there is, as I've said before, a ton of stuff going on in this seed. It's just incredible, because I'm looking through this page on MCPDL. There's a lot of stuff, because there is a dungeon that I'm seeing. It says that the dungeon is in fact exposed to the surface, although admittedly I don't know where said dungeon actually is. You know what, if I don't find it, A, I'm not going to be surprised, and B, I'm not going to be upset, because there's just so much going on with this that, as I mentioned, I'm only giving you guys a short amount of what was actually in this seed. So, yeah, if I can't find this, there at least is coordinates on the webpage that say exactly where it is, but I don't have coordinates turned on, obviously, so I can't exactly go and find its specific location easily. I'm just kind of seeing if I can, like, spot, because it's very clearly visible, on the surface, according to these pages that I'm looking at, and I'm thinking maybe it might be exposed to this hill right here. I'm not entirely sure. Just trying to see if I can spot it. If I don't spot it, well, I'm just going to end the video off, because, again, as I've mentioned, I'm not going to be too upset if I don't end up finding this. It doesn't seem that's on this hill, which, you know what, is perfectly fine. I don't know where this dungeon is, but you know what? It's well hidden for, as far as I can see, for right now. I'm pretty sure if you were to follow the coordinates that I keep mentioning, you should be able to find the dungeon without a problem. And hopefully, said dungeon is nowhere close to any of these villages, because the webpage shows a zombie dungeon. Again, in my experience, some dungeons will generate something completely random as far as the spawner is concerned, because the seed that I have for my survival series is in fact a skeleton dungeon that I use for my skeleton farm, as you guys already know. But there was one time where I reloaded the exact same seed for whatever reason, and the exact same dungeon that is currently my skeleton dungeon actually turned out to be a zombie dungeon, so I know there's going to be some variation. Yeah, I'm just not finding this dungeon anywhere. You know what? Not that's a huge problem. I said there's a possibility I wasn't going to end up finding it. But you know what? For right now, this is actually where I'm going to go ahead and end off the video, because I've been doing this long enough. I'm getting close to the time I usually like to record to. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed. If you did, make sure that like button. One more, then make sure that subscribe button for future content. Also, you can follow me on Twitter at AgentCPU0 to stay updated. This has been Zero Studios. Thank you guys for watching. Again, as a secondary reminder, if you are interested in being able to beta test the Impossible Maze, let me know either down in the comment section. Let me know what your Twitter actually is, or you can just let me know via Twitter itself that you're interested in beta testing. It should be ready for beta testing within the next week, either by the end of this week or maybe possibly early next week, so it's not going to be too long. But yeah, with that, I will see you guys later.